Today we're adding the final step to these beautiful magnolias. We're going to be using watercolor paint to paint the background or the negative space around our flower. We're going to be using a color wheel again to show contrast, which means opposite. So we're going to be looking at opposite colors today. Last time we used analogous colors, or colors that were close together, like orange, dark orange, red, and pink. But today we'll be using colors across the street or across the wheel to show contrast or opposite colors. So on this flower, I used pinks, violets, and oranges. So I'm going to find that on my color wheel. Pinks, violets, and oranges, these three. And I'm going to hop across the wheel, and I'll be choosing a color across the street, either yellow, green, or dark green. For this painting, it's done with blues, greens, light greens, and yellows. Blues, greens, light greens, and yellows, these three. So I will be hopping across the street, orange, red, or pink to paint this one. So you're going to choose one watercolor opposite of the colors you use. So just hop across the street. You'll be given a picture of a color wheel so you can see which colors are across the street, and you'll be choosing one to do your painting. I'm going to be showing you directions on painting. I'm going to be going super fast. Of course, you're going to be super slow. Also, hold your brush like a pencil. Right behind the danger zone is where we grip the pencil, or right behind this silver part, so that we don't get paint on our hands, and also we have more control of the brush. Happy painting. We're going to dip just a tiny bit of paint onto our brush, and we're holding it by the handle. And if you look closely, you're going to see that I always have my hand under my brush when I'm carrying it over my flower so that it doesn't drip on my flower. You're going to apply some paint and then sweep it across the paper like a broom sweeps the floor. That way, little puddles can be swept into new areas so that we don't waste paint and that we don't have big puddles on our paper. If you have a big puddle on your paper and you don't sweep it away, when it dries, it's going to make a puddle mark on your paper and you'll have a big dark spot. So make sure you sweep all that paint all the way to the edge even, and that's why it's important that we use newspaper. We don't want to have any white spots showing, so sweep those puddles all the way to the edge of the paper. And remember that when we're painting our brushes like a ballerina's tippy toes, we're only using the tippy toes of the brush. That means we're not mashing or pressing the brush down into the paper, because that means our ballerina will be scooting on her booty, and ain't nobody want to go to the what? The booty scooting ballet, you know. So keep those bristles or the hairs on the brush pointed and gently sweep them on your paper. Here's another one. I used yellow, green, and blue for my paint colors the first time, my oil pastel. So I'm looking across the street, and I could have chosen pink or violet or red, but I've chosen pink today. So when you find your 3 or 4 colors you use with your oil pastels, just pick one of those, look across the street to your color wheel, and that's how you decide which one you can choose. So it doesn't have to be just one from across the street. Any colors that are across the street from your oil pastels can be used today, but just one. And then you can start painting until it is finished, and I just can't wait to see how these beautiful flowers are going to be finished up. Have fun, boys and girls.